Hello there and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. If you are new, hi, I'm Korra. I run a niche content site that I will link below. Basically, that means I get to write and create content related to things that I love and feel passionate about. And I've been having so much fun bringing these articles to life. And today we're gonna be talking about something that's really important to me, and that is the lack of spark in your life. We're gonna be talking about the telltale signs that your life is missing that spark. So let's just get into it, because I think that this is just such an important concept that is so often overlooked while we're on a mission to hit every single checkbox and achieve goals that are made for us by others instead of goals that we personally want to accomplish. What is the spark? Obviously, it's going to look different for every single person, but at the end of the day, your spark is the thing inside of you that is igniting you, that's fueling you with passion and excitement, the thing that it feels like your life force, the thing that is motivating you and inspiring you. It makes you feel like life is worth living. Every single human is so unique, and that is the most beautiful part of humanity, in my opinion, not to get all corny on you all. But when we lose that spark, when it dwindles and it dims, we start to feel empty. We start to feel like we're not ourselves anymore. At the end, we're going to talk about how to bring that spark back, but first I want to talk about the telltale signs that you are lacking spark. All right, sign number one, feeling frequently bored. If you are bored, even if you're engaging in activities that at one point in your life brought you joy, it could be a giant sign that you are lacking a very essential part of yourself and fulfillment that keeps things exciting. It's okay to grow past things that at one point were interesting and exciting to you. That is actually not just okay, that is human nature. When we master certain things, we are ready for the next challenge. We're ready to continue to push ourselves into being the best version of ourselves. And also sometimes we just outgrow things, and that is perfectly okay. But if you are constantly feeling an emotion of I'm bored, you might be lacking a spark, and it might be time to change something in your life. Next, being restless or irritable. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of things that can cause us to be a little bit irritable in our lives and in this world, okay? But if it is not normal for you and your subconscious is feeling irritated by everything and you're feeling very restless and on edge, the solution to that might not just be a vacation. It might be that you're lacking spark in your life and you need to change something. Third is struggling to find motivation, especially if that motivation is for things that are tasks or goals that at one point in your life you were really excited for. If you used to be very motivated to get academic work done and all of a sudden it feels like a drag, or if you used to be excited about going to work every day and tackling new challenges and now you feel like, do I have to? Those could be signs that you're lacking the spark. 4 is feeling a disconnect from your passions. I talk so much on my site as well as on this channel about hobbies and passions. I share a lot about houseplants, gardening, crafts, things like that are my personal passions. And I can speak only from experience on this, that when I feel disconnected from those, I know that that means that something is wrong. Something is wrong in my brain, something is wrong in my life, because those are the things that bring me the most joy outside of my loved ones, of course. So plants never talk back, I'm just saying. That means that something is off if the things that matter to us the most and that bring us the most joy are suddenly feeling like doing our taxes, you know? Sign 5 is one that you might have to do a little bit of soul searching for, but that is feeling a sense of emptiness. When we feel empty, or emotional numbness is another way to express it, that means that we are unfulfilled, and these extreme emotions are a huge sign that something needs to change in our life. Not just for fun, but because lacking the spark and going through emptiness and feelings of, I'm careful throwing this word around, but depression are huge signs that something needs to change in your life. 6, if you find yourself daydreaming of a different life, that could be a pretty darn obvious sign that you need to change something. If you find yourself kind of drifting off, thinking about this life that isn't yours, thinking about going after goals that you have a passion for, and things that feel like an escape, like you're looking for an escape from your life, that means that it's time to change something in your life. 7, avoiding social interactions. Even if you are an introvert or someone who just generally isn't a huge fan of social interactions, if you are avoiding it even more, and this is obviously more obvious if you are an extroverted person or very just generally social person and you start avoiding social interactions, that tends to be because you don't feel confident in yourself and your life, and therefore you don't want to be around others. That is obviously very concerning. We need to do something about it. And lastly is if you start looking for a ton of external validation. Looking for external validation is something that is just inherently going to be part of our lives. I don't think any human is immune from, but letting it get to you more and letting it actually hold power over you is when you know that something is wrong. Like if you are not capable of pushing through those emotions and you find yourself putting tons of pressure on your external validation in your career, your relationships, social media, whatever it may be, that is a huge sign that something needs to change. So now we've talked about signs that you're lacking a spark in your life. And if you're watching this and you're like, yeah, Korra, yeah, that sounds like me, at least some of those signs, really just one of those signs, then it is time to do something about it to bring your spark back. So let's talk about that. First things first, and this is the most important one in my opinion, is you need to get out of your comfort zone. I'm sorry, I know it's scary, I know it's intimidating, but you need to try new things. You need to break out of your norm. You need to leave your routines in the past. You need to try a new hobby, attend a social event, travel somewhere new, apply to a job that you don't think you have a chance at. In any possible way that you can get out of your comfort zone, you need to go for it. You need to live in that state of feeling uncomfortable. You need to know that that is when you grow. You don't grow when you're comfortable in your life and your routines. You won't get your spark back if you're living a redundant lifestyle. You need to get out of your comfort zone. You need to do things that are scary. It can start small. It can be just going to a new coffee shop. It can be agreeing to go on a date. Whatever it may be, you need to do it because that is how you're going to get the spark back. That's how you're going to find new challenges, and that's how you're going to push yourself. The second way to bring your spark back is to set meaningful goals. Identifying your passions and setting clear, achievable goals that align with them is how you're going to bring that excitement and force yourself, for lack of a better term, to try new things and to push yourself harder. Because pushing yourself harder, as much as it might sound like, oh, that's so much work, it is, but that work is how you're going to become the person that you're wanting to be and how you're going to get that spark back ignited in your life. Again, and these don't have to be academic or career related goals. Honestly, I don't think they should be. They should be related to you as an individual person. They should be related to passions and loves that you have, and they can be social, whether it be friends or relationship based, or they ideally can be related to hobbies and passions that you have in your life. These are meaningful goals. 3 is to learn more. Learning is something that gets a bad rep because it's associated with our academic systems, and we're not going to go on a whole rant about any of that right now. But I am going to tell you right now that learning new things and exploring new subjects and expanding your mind is going to be really freaking helpful for bringing your spark back. And this doesn't have to be huge. This doesn't mean go back to school, but it does mean reading books, taking free online courses or not free, up to you, listening to podcasts, attending workshops, taking classes, whether that's like a cooking class or a gardening class, whether that's just reading your first nonfiction book since you graduated college, whatever it may be, taking the time to learn and expand your mind is going to help you bring back that spark and ignite the passion to becoming the best version of yourself. 4, we got to cultivate more curiosity. Approaching life with a feeling of curiosity, asking questions, striving to learn more, striving to understand new things is going to encourage your soul to continue to grow, and it's going to give you a better outlook on life. Ask questions, seek to understand more things, and expand your mind. 5, embrace creativity. I know that there's gonna be people who watch this who are like, I am not creative, Korra. I hate being creative. And I don't know if that's true. I think in our own ways, we all value and grow from creativity, but we get this idea that creativity has to mean like being artistic. I am not artistic. I love arts and crafts, like related things, okay, but I'm not artistic. And even if you don't like any arts and craft related things, that's totally fine. Sixth way is to connect with new people. I think that the people around us are a much bigger influence on our spark than we want to admit. And I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form to leave the people that you love in any way. That's not what it's about. What it's about is meeting new people that are going to push you and encourage you, that are going to bring new viewpoints into your life, that are going to be filled with new opportunities. Engaging in these conversations with new people is just, it's so helpful for our personal growth and bringing our spark back. Attend a social event. There's lots of like mixer type things that not for dating that you can join if you go on meetup.com or Facebook groups. There's so many options. If you are religious, going to a different church, joining a new group, anything like that. And number 7 for bringing back your spark is volunteering and giving back to your community. I fully believe that when you are contributing to your community, the sense of fulfillment and purpose does ignite a spark within you. The feeling of doing things that aren't just for your own benefit and doing things that make you a part of your community and make you valuable in your community, and knowing that you're making a difference, is something that we should be doing no matter what, whether or not you think you're lacking your spark. But if you are lacking your spark, be a part of your community, offer your skill set to others, and watch as those connections and the fulfillment that it brings you helps you become that passionate person that you want to be again. Lastly is explore more, whether that be traveling the world or traveling down the street. And thank goodness that we're in a day and age where if you want to explore things virtually, you can do that. If you don't, for physical reasons or financial reasons, whatever it may be, are pretty limited on where you can go and explore, then you can do it on YouTube. You can watch videos of people in all different kinds of lives and lifestyles all over the world, and you can take the time to expand your mind even from the comfort and safety of your own home, if that's what works for you. But if you are able to get out there and you're able to explore and you're able to see new people, new cultures, experience things that you would never experience in your current bubble, that is going to help you bring that spark back and bring you back to life. All right, guys, so we chatted about telltale signs that you're lacking your spark and some of my ideas for how you can get that spark back. I know that feeling like you're missing out on a part of yourself is incredibly challenging. It's heart-wrenching and it can be a little bit soul-sucking, but there are things that we can do. We talked about them. And at the end of the day, the key is going to be acknowledging that your spark has dimmed and making an effort to bring joy and light back into your life. I hope that this was helpful. I hope it gave you some motivation and ideas. If it did, make sure to subscribe, because this is the type of stuff this channel is all about. I like to share my hobbies and interests, and I like to share passions, and I also like to share passions in my life, as well as everything that I wish that I had a big sister to tell me. So I hope that I can provide a little bit of that for you. All right.